Hey, Kira's here. You know, while I was a Lutheran, I think part of my deconversion was that I was very inquisitive about Scripture. Because I read things in the Good News Bible that were like, well, they just didn't make sense. Excuse me. And then I read things in the King James. And having read a lot of mythology and other things, I knew those words didn't really translate over into the common everyday meaning they were implying. And then once you got into archaeology and history, ancient history, and customs and everything, you could see that this whole thing of Scripture had a mile deep subtext of cultural relevance to the times that was completely being misinterpreted. And I lost all faith in that. Because if somebody in Sunday school couldn't give me the straight dope, then already there's not only their supernatural, but their social premise is freaking whacked. I mean, not just whacked. I mean, I could tell right then that if these people weren't Christians, these people weren't Christians. So, when I hear religious or Christian liberalism, and there is liberal Christians, there's a lot of kinds of Christians, I have to wonder, how are you justifying that? And a little, oh, turn the other cheek, it's like, what? No, this is bullshit. And it's not like about who you like as a person or how you feel about a situation. Well, maybe a little. You know. Because, well, okay, to be honest, just to be straight out, right? I had only lost my faith, but not my belief. You can understand that one. I mean, I was a George Bush supporter friggin' for 8 years. Christ's sakes, you know? Christ's sakes. But there was no magic. There was no supernatural. There was no friggin' cleric spells. You know, there was no sticks to the snakes. So, a lot of the underpinnings of the morality of biblical ethics completely comes into question. So, you know, I mean, and then having absorbed a lot of atheist videos, it also comes into self-examination. I mean, I kind of opened my eyes to it. I think it was only about a year into my freaking YouTube videos, or maybe 2, that I switched from, even though I was a naturalist, beyond atheist, because some atheists can have supernatural views. There could be Buddhist atheists, there could be a lot of non-deity atheists that still hold metaphysical and supernatural beliefs to be true. I'm a metaphysical naturalist. I'm not even a friggin' methodological naturalist. In other words, I don't friggin' have to go, well, because before time, we don't know if God was there or not. I could just pretty much say we live in a naturalistic universe, and even though I can't prove it, I'm not arguing with freaking top theists, so I can pretty much say the stars are above, the sky is blue, and freaking there's only freaking the laws of nature and physics that are freaking making it all happen. But that's an aspect of faith, even if it's a faith in a non-supernatural belief. And I accept that premise. So, call me what you want on that. But, only recently did I realize what I didn't like about liberal society. And that was, I didn't like the statism in it. I didn't like the rules. I didn't like my freedom impaired, and I didn't like people telling me what to do or how to think. And that dawned on me that, oh, so it's really not these things specifically, it's how people are telling you to think about them. Is that why you have a authoritarian, I'm talking about myself, is that why you have an authoritarian view on sexual morality? And I realized, yes, it was. So even though I may not agree with what, I forgot his name, the guy who recently passed away, and everyone's having a shit fit about because this theist says he went to hell instead of getting saved. Well, if you're a freaking theist, that's what the frack happens. You know, get over it. And if you're an atheist, then, well, I don't know, you know. I get it. I get your frigging gripe. But is it really about the guy, or is it just about the friggin' politics? Is it really? No, I think it's really about the friggin' morality codes. I think it's really friggin' people friggin' are finding a reason to have their nose bent because they don't like friggin' someone else's friggin' morality being pushed on them, and it's a battle of attrition. Cut. You know, we gotta raise consciousness. We gotta change minds. That's just great. You know? Except, I forgot one little thing. I don't play it halfway. I'm a free thinker. I'm a free man. And I'll goddamn think for myself. And that means that while I'll freaking support anyone's freedom because I don't like rules, and I think freaking I will absolutely stand by anybody's right between two consenting adults to do whatever they want sexually. While I stand by that right, it doesn't mean I personally agree with it. You could almost say I have a non-supernatural Christian belief. Because I think it's a bunch of friggin' graft and friggin' graft and friggin' vice. I do. I really do. And I think it affects people friggin' psychologically and socially. Of course, so does a lot of other things. Gluttony, greed, wrath, you know? So that's why I can hold my view, not be a hypocrite, and still condemn something, but be broad-minded enough to defend everybody's right to choose. Because I don't want the nanny state coming in and telling me what to do. I want my own opinion. And I'm willing to see the other side of it. Because it may just hold true. Thank goodness I'm just wearing cotton. Because if I was wearing a mixed blend, like I think that guy was with the friggin' wool sweater, wool tweed or whatever, or having shellfish, you're going to hell. And that's ridiculous. Why were those rules implied? What the heck was going through these Judaic minds that it was the biggest sin to freaking go around and spread syphilis around to each other, or sleep with your mama, or all that crap that went on in freaking ancient times, you know, and it was to wear a freaking cross wool sweater or something, or eat shellfish, or pork. Well, not pork, but, well, did ancient Jews still have the freaking 4 hooves? I can't follow that dietary kosher crap. Whatever it is. It is. You can go all through those stupid scriptures and find ridiculous stuff. But some of the stuff wasn't so ridiculous. So yeah, I wonder too. And I don't need a sky daddy to tell me. But without one, it becomes a valid question of consideration. And that's the friggin' thing. If you're supposed to be a Christian, friggin', let's hear your friggin' reasons for your friggin' video scriptures. Or get out the pot already. I mean, show your friggin' ideological cards. I call. And that's what the irritation is about. It's like, okay, fine. You're who you are. You have a personal relationship with the Lord. Great. But freaking hand after hand after hand, you're freaking folding, or you're showing freaking the freaking party line. Well, why? That's private, that's personal? Well, excuse somebody for freaking seeing it for what it is. Huh? Explain it. Don't be persecuted. Freaking just get together with some of your freaking Skype buddies and freaking give me a decent explanation. I mean, I really wish I had the intellect. I would go forth and I would find that explanation. And I might possibly tear that explanation apart, or I might accept it. But it's just, I don't care if it's freaking potpourri or lilac. If it's a big pile of freaking contradiction, it's a big pile of freaking contradiction! And it's nothing to do with freaking who's serving it! But it just makes me question why they're serving it to me! No one gives a straight answer on that stuff. If we're gonna call it BS, Let's get some biblical scholars in there and freaking call it the BS it is. You know? There's no one's crying about freaking, picking on you. Freaking, you're likable. It's just freaking, you're towing the freaking party line. And that's all it is. And it seems a little disingenuous. Possibly. Or, it's freaking annoying because you're not really showing your ideological cards. And I want to know where you're really coming from. And it's just freaking so nebulous. It's just, I laid my cards out. There it is. But the cyberbullying crap about people having to worry about what they say or not, but you better be responsible for what you say, because once you put something out on the internet, it's a damn social networking site. Get over your freaking selves. You're not the freaking morality police, and you're not the freaking social police. And yes, you do have a right to say your opinion to my opinion, like I have my right to say my opinion to your opinion, but that only goes so far. It does not go into freaking slander or freaking defamation. Just because you can doesn't mean it is. That's bull. And, from a secular point of view, since I am a freaking atheist, I don't agree with what that guy said. Metaphysically, but let's really cut to the freaking ideological crap on it. We're not talking about heaven and hell. Maybe he is, but we're talking about freaking social values. It's social values. We're not talking about bad-mouthing someone who died recently. We're talking about freaking living freaking morality standards. And that's all it is. And this fake freaking incensed, oh, I'm so mad that this person was disparaged. And the other side is like, I tried to help him, but he was lost in flaming hell! Oh! I can see why you're a little irritated on that. Fucking YouTube. I just don't believe you guys sometimes. Good luck. Now you know why I don't Skype, tweet, or freaking network off freaking YouTube. It's freaking ridiculous. The cult of personality that's going on around this place. So there's some friggin' truth for you. Eat it. Carry us out.